Hello, everyone. This is Scott from the Threefold team here today with Meek, and we're
Hello,
going to
guys.
be we're going to be showing a demo about the Mycelium network, how you can set up Mycelium on a phone and connect to some apps over Mycelium network. So let's get started. Agenda for today. Again, so let's show off the Mycelium website, Mycelium docs here. Those links are on the screen, so if you want to learn more, you can go there and read all about it. I'll be telling you a bit about the Mycelium network, what it is, and how it works, and then Meek will take over for the demo. All right, Mycelium is an end-to-end encrypted IPv6 overlay network, and what this means is that every device that joins the Mycelium network is assigned an IPv6 address that is outside of the normally allocated IPv6 space. So you don't need IPv6 connectivity to use Mycelium. Any device with any internet connection can connect. It will be given a unique address, and it can use this address to communicate with all other devices in the Mycelium network in an end-to-end encrypted way. Key features, we have decentralized nodes. So the routing on Mycelium network is handled dynamically through public nodes that you can connect to. And that means that any device, whether or not it has a publicly reachable address on the normal internet, can receive inbound connections over Mycelium. So via this decentralized network, we can route anywhere in the world. And we do this in an efficient way that finds the shortest path in terms of latency. And this also can help in the case that there are any cuts or disruptions in networking between 2 points. Mycelium is able to route around such disruptions and continue to operate over the shortest path that is still working and available. And finally, as I mentioned before, we have the end-to-end encryption. This means that all communication across Mycelium is totally private, based on the key pairs generated by the Mycelium users when they start up their application. And the Mycelium addresses are also embedding a public key pair, which is how this end-to-end encryption happens. So whenever a Mycelium address is shared, then that is also the public key. And that ensures that as long as you have the correct Mycelium address, you always know who you are talking to in a very secure and private manner. And this is better than the general internet where you use technologies like SSL or HTTPS, because these encryption keys are generated and validated by the users themselves, and there's no trust in some external authority, like a certificate issuer, that might become hacked or compromised. So this gives us a decentralized point-to-point private communication. Very nice. So far, we have Mycelium available for Android and iOS, as well as Linux, macOS, and Windows. So that's covering all the major platforms. We'll see how you can set up the application on a smartphone here in a minute for macOS and Windows. We also have installer applications. So these are just normal GUI type installers like you might be used to that you can download and start up in a very simple way. And on Linux, do you know, Mick, do we have the graphical installer in Linux, or is it?
On Linux, it is using the binary, as most Linux users are used to installing binary, so it's really simple.
Yeah, so for Linux, you can just download the binary and set up a systemd service. And we have that all documented also in our manual.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so now it's demo time. I will hand you over to Meek.
Yeah, so maybe just a recap. Let's say if you want to go on the Mycelium website, we have a presentation on the different, let's say, features of the app, and then if you want to go and get the direct links on the different smartphone and desktop platform. And also we have the very cool documentation website. So basically we present the basic Mycelium we have right now, and we also present what is coming up with Mycelium. So we're expanding the, let's say, service and product offering of Mycelium. And for fun, we have different applications that are running on Mycelium. We won't show all of them today, but that's just to give you an overview. So let's say I want to install Mycelium. How do I do this? Let's say you want to go on your Android phone. I'm using Graphene OS, so I have the Aurora store. I will look for the Mycelium network application. Then Mycelium network, you can see threefold tech, and then I will simply install it. Takes a couple of seconds. It's only 30 megabytes. All the code is of course open source, so we can have a look. Then we grant network permission to the app, and then we'll install Mycelium. Well, we open it, it's already installed. Then we can see here we have our public address here, and it appears on this screen. And if you want to start Mycelium, it's as simple as clicking start. Then it will act as a VPN. So you just say okay here to request access, and then you're on the Mycelium network. So then let's say you want to access this website, you can see connection timeout. I didn't have Mycelium set up before. So if I have Mycelium now, you can see that I can access the website. So here we have the Umbrella website, application running on the grid, of course. So we're inside the application now via Mycelium network, and then we can have all kinds of nice stuff on the Umbrella. So that's it for this part. Let's say this is really simple, as you can see. And let's say you want to close the application, you just go back on the app and then you do stop. Also, of course, the restart button. So for now, the application is really simple, basic user interface, but it really gets the job done and it's working very well. So what can we do with this? Let's say for now, we want to show you, I'm going on the dashboard. So this is an upcoming application. I will go to Open WebUI. This is a extensible, feature-rich, and user-friendly self-hosted AI platform designed to operate entirely offline. So in this case, we're running on the ThreeFold grid, so this is secure via the Mycelium network. So let's say I want to deploy something. This application works with GPU or CPU. We'll look for a GPU node. So let's have a look. Load nodes.
And when you come into the dashboard, Mycelium is going to be activated by default for
Yeah,
all deployments. We can see it under the network options.
yeah, good point. So here we see we have different nodes with rentable GPU. So you can click on the node if you want to have a look. And then let's say we want to reserve this one. We'll click reserve. Then we can see transaction submitted. This will take a couple of seconds to reload. You can see transaction succeeded. The node is reserved. So 7512. And then we want to choose the GPU card that is available there. And then we will choose a gateway domain to deploy. So recap, we have the application here, we have the name. This is generated automatically, but you can change it. Let's say Mycelium app. And then you can select the type of resources you want. Then we select the network. We want GPU here dedicated. And then we have our GPU card. So now we have this and we'll just click deploy. And this will deploy on the ThreeFold grid on the node of the farmer. And actually, of course, we have a 50% of the deployment cost on my end. Let's say that will go directly to the farmer. So this is a great way for farmers to generate revenue. So let's say you have a great GPU on the grid, then people will most likely deploy on your node because it has a great stats. So that's something to keep in mind for farmers out there. So now we'll see it will deploy the application. And once it's done, you will see at the bottom the information to access it.
Very cool. So we should clarify that the domain selection here is in case you wanted to access this deployment over the regular internet using, saying HTTPS, which is fairly secure, but connecting over Mycelium is definitely a step up. And we already have an Open WebUI instance deployed here, so maybe we can flip over to that one and just have a look around.
Yes. So here we have a basic code that I asked to write a hello world in Go. So basically, once you have an Open WebUI, you can have all kinds of different AI models. So here we have a model that is specifically designed for coders. So let's say, what do you want to have as a code, Scott? Do you have some ideas?
Hmm. Actually, I have an idea. Can we ask about the origin of the Slinky toy?
So this is a coder model. So let's see what comes out of this.
Oh yeah, we have the coder model. Well, it's not a code question, but just looking at what I have on the desk in front of me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But we can see here just above what we had, we asked for Hello World in Go. And then, of course, you can go test it online. I tested it already and it works well. So maybe that's a good opportunity to test different kinds of AI models. Let's see what it has in store. Maybe it will write a code to create a slinky toy. So who knows?
Yeah, and Open WebUI is a very cool interface that is connecting here with Ollama in the backend. So you can run any models that are included with Ollama, the ones that will fit inside of GPU or the system RAM that you've reserved.
So maybe we go back to the dashboard. We can see here the deployment has been done. So now once I have this, I have my Mycelium network address here. So let's say I want to SSH into it just for fun. So we can see here that we can connect to the VM we just deployed over the Mycelium address that we see on top here. So here we see here, oh, Scott, that was not a good question. He's only for code. So let's do something. Write a Python code to get factorial. Maybe this one will be easier on the AI. And then we'll try the Slinky on another one. Oh, you can see how that's fast. So you can see when you're using AI models, that's the fun of Open WebUI actually, because you can download different models depending on your need. So now we can see it's running this Python code to come up with a factorial multiplication. Something that I find interesting with this model, it just gives too much comment here. So maybe that's something you can do. And this is running it's not a, let's say, top of the art GPU models, but we can see it's usable. But for the farmers out there who want to provide the high-end GPU nodes, so that's something clearly useful for the grid. So we can see the code is done.
Do you have any other models loaded into this
Yeah, we have a
Open
bunch
WebUI?
actually. So let's try another one. Okay, let's try another model. New chat. Which one do you want to try? We have a lot of them actually. Tiny Llama maybe? Starcoder?
We do the Quen 14B.
All right, let's give it a try. Explain options trading. Do we go with this or?
I'm still curious about the origin of the Slinky toy.
Okay. So that's nice. So we can see the answer looks good, right? We should have a look online to corroborate, let's say.
All right. Thank you so much for the demo, Meek. That's very cool to see how we can install Mycelium and access various apps that are running and deploy new apps on Threefold Grid and access those over Mycelium as well. So again, here is the Mycelium download site. So if you want to get started, you can come here, download the app for your platform, and start connecting with Mycelium. Go download or go deploy some workloads on the dashboard, VMs, apps, things like that. And we'll be looking forward to showing you more about Mycelium and telling you more about exciting capabilities in the weeks to come. Thanks so much.
Thank you for being here, guys. See you later.